there's also things that happen during the course of it. The insurance carriers, when there's some kind of treatment that's significant, they will have that submitted to a thing called utilization review. For instance, if a doctor wants to have a surgery, that's submitted to UR by the carrier to determine whether or not it's reasonable and necessary. And theoretically, the carrier submits it to an outside agency to determine whether or not they need it. But there's a lot of appeals procedures, and there's a lot of ways to get around that. And a lot of times the carrier will give a decision saying we don't have to pay this, but you can take it a couple of steps further. You can file a medical fee dispute, you can do some other things to get continued treatment. And if you don't have an attorney, you may not realize all this stuff's going on.
Okay.
In the old days, when I started practicing in another century, the biggest dispute in workers' compensation claims was the amount of money somebody would get because of the injury. Now the biggest dispute is whether or not they're going to get medical treatment, because the medical treatment costs more to the employer than the money that they're going to pay to the employee for the permanent injury.
Okay.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. The cost of medicine has gone up, but also there's a lot more medical procedures that they weren't doing 20 or 30 years ago when I started to practice. Knee replacements have been common for the last 25 years in workers' compensation, but I didn't see those till probably 5 or 6 years after I started practicing.
Okay.
I saw some shoulder replacements in the last 10 years that weren't going on a couple years ago. MRIs and diagnostic tests didn't exist back when I started practicing that are out there now. So there's a lot more treatment available. All that treatment costs money. That money is a big factor in the workers' compensation insurance carrier decision about what happens to the injured individual. And to be honest, treatment is probably the biggest element in the claim and probably the biggest dispute anymore.